The rhetoric, it keeps ramping up, the polarization more pronounced, the demonization of the other side reaching frightening levels.
Absolutely. There's a fundamental constitutional line that our founders gave us, and that in Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution is that the president can't impose tariffs on his own. You've got to have Congress. And Donald Trump himself understood this because in his first time he was president, he asked Congress for these tariff powers, and Congress said no. And so this time he didn't even bother going to Congress. And that's what the court was saying was so problematic. Look, maybe they said you need to have these tariffs. You just flashed his Truth Social post up saying these tariffs are essential. Maybe you need to have them, but the thing you have to do is go to the Congress and make your case. You can't just do it with the stroke of your own pen. Well, like unlike Donald Trump, who's predicting and like claims he knows how the Supreme Court will rule, I don't. I'm a constitutional scholar. I can tell you that the constitutional case against Donald Trump's tariffs is overwhelming, as the judges yesterday found. But the court's going to consider this in due course. And, my hope is actually that the Trump administration will do the right thing and follow what the court said yesterday, which is go to Congress and try and seek their approval instead of rushing to the Supreme Court and putting the Supreme Court in that difficult position. There's an easy way to do this and there's a hard way to do this. And unfortunately, he's picked the hard and the less constitutional way of doing it. And so I think that's a signal to all of us that this court wants to get the show on the road and get this thing decided once and for all so that everyone knows the rules going forward.
Amanda said MAGA is very triggered. 22 MAGA arrests for attacking No Kings in Ohio, Kentucky, state after state. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, police report arrests of 0 protesters. Incredible job, everyone. You made it impossible for Trump to sell his propaganda. And I was going to say, you went on to say the AI video of Trump that he reposted of himself in a fighter jet named King Trump with a crown on his head, dropping tons of non-metaphorical on the heads of protesters, the kind of childish idiocy that MAGA freaks masturbate to because they think they've so owned the libtards. You said, but God, it's just so boring. Get a new act. Hacks on the right. We get it. You make little cartoons where Trump does outrageous. It doesn't bother us as much as it makes you seem pathetic and worthless. I mean, we'll see you, our 7 million joyful warriors in the street to your stupid poop AI video, right?
Yeah, and it's just at some point here. The other thing I said is do something surprising. You know what would have been surprising if Trump had come out and said, "Well, I'm really glad to see that there were peaceful protests and people exercising their First Amendment rights." We would have gone, "What? Oh my God, what's going on? Oh, I'm so scared now." Instead, Trump puts out this video and we go, "Oh my God, of course you did that, you idiot." You're an awful a-hole, and you're just going to be an awful a-hole every chance you get.
Yeah, relentlessly.
Mm-hmm.
But for however long. You just said, but a good point. You said Trump's done us a favor. One of the things that traditional and dumb Democrats have said is if they do things like show up at the White House events or congratulate Trump on his now failed Gaza ceasefire out of, quote, respect for the office of the presidency. But Trump doesn't respect the office, and neither should anyone else, least of all those who he wants to on. I mean, thank you. I'm so glad, by the way. I love this. Cynical Resistor said, Jesus Christ. Leslie Stahl is interviewing Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff on 60 Minutes tonight about a quote-unquote deal that has already fallen apart. CBS and Barry Weiss. I mean, I thought I was going to lose my mind with the coverage of this thing that lasted less than 24 hours.
Yeah, and they bumped the real story that 60 Minutes had, which was about the whistleblower at the Justice Department saying how the people there were told to violate the law and not give people their due process rights.
Yeah.
They bumped that to give Jared Kushner a hype for his new real estate deal in Gaza.
They bumped him to give him a handy J.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Thank you, Chris,
no
for
problem.
that clarification.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but you said you reposted Trump's Truth Social account just posted this AI video of him flying a fighter jet that reads King Trump. AI Trump is wearing a crown while he drums on protesters. He's such a pathetic little man. And you said just a video of the president of the United States assaulting people for peacefully protesting. No big deal. I mean, the coverage has gotten just so like, oh, well,
Yeah.
Trump
Yeah,
being
yeah.
Trump, right? And we're so beyond normal. I think we're having a hard time even processing it anymore.
Yeah, and and the fact that this deal got the 20 living hostages out is great. But we didn't all of a sudden stop everything and celebrate Joe Biden when he got a ceasefire that got
When he-
120
Thank you.
hostages out.
Thank you. Yeah.
And back when you could still, and back when they weren't all buried under the rubble of Gaza.
Right, right. So you said Democrats should hold events in states telling people how much their Obamacare premiums are going to rise because of Trump and the Republicans, and billboards should be everywhere. That right there, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, they should be
Yeah.
out there, even if it's not their states. Go hold a rally there and say, all right, here you go. Here's how much you paid. Here's how much you're gonna pay. And use that to put pressure on it, because you know what, all of these people that live in the Fox News bubble don't understand this. All they think is that Democrats want to get illegal aliens, quote unquote, to free health care.
Oy. Trump said every time I solve one, they say if you solve the next one, you're going to get the Nobel Prize. And you said I've lived on this earth a good while. I've never heard anyone talk about deserving the Nobel
Yeah.
Peace Prize. I mean, and he just keeps repeating, and he has solved 0 wars, and he just keeps saying it, right?
Yeah, yeah, and this year's winner, not a great person, but just to put that in perspective, but the it's just weird. Again, we keep saying about how things are weird, and it's just weird to have somebody out there saying, "Oh yeah, I deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. Give me the Nobel Peace Prize. Why don't you give me the Nobel Peace Prize?"
God.
It's sort of like telling people you're cool.
This
the
is
second
why-
you tell people you're cool,
Yeah.
that's it. You're done.
This is why what you do, what SNL does, is so important. This is Michael Che.
Volodymyr Zelensky has said that if President Trump provides Ukraine with Tomahawk missiles, he will nominate Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. You know, the prize they give you for selling missiles.
I mean, South Park nailed it again. Oh, by the way, I said he called the rally small and ineffective, and I was like, he's thinking of his penis,
Yes.
because I just saw him masturbating with tweezers and then with chopsticks.
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
South Park.
No, it's and chopsticks.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And going after Peter Thiel
Yeah.
on the show, just chef's kiss.
Right.
Mwah.
If those of you haven't watched, well, first of all, watch it. But it follows an ongoing story about the president impregnating Satan and pushing for him to get an abortion. So it features Peter Thiel, who is conspiring with J.D. Vance to stop Satan from having his baby. When I become president, I will give you full access to everyone's data, Vance promises Thiel. I mean, that's comedy. That's satire. It's shining a light on what's the horror of what's really happening. We were just talking about this Caroline Levitt thing when they said, who picked Budapest for the Putin meeting? And she's like, your mother did.
Yeah.
They're
Like-
so pathetically bad at
Yeah.
comedy.
And that wasn't even a snarky question. It was like a legitimate question.
Right, right.
I mean, I sit there, God, what the F? I mean, what is wrong with you people? How broken are you?
Right.
God, how badly do you all need to get laid? You know, that's the thing I keep coming back to. How badly do you all need to get laid? And not in the, I'm gonna flog myself until I ejaculate Stephen Miller kind of way.
Oh,
While watching videos of boats of innocent fishermen being blown up in the seas.